Any comments or thoughts on this one?
I just want to state that I am in agreement with this because for the last few months, we've been begging for the financials, right? In every meeting, we hear the same thing. They have the information, and the information have yet to be put on that Jumbo-Tron.
Times Square Jumbo-Tron!
So hopefully, with the court's ruling, or with this being put in place, they will either put it on a Jumbo-Tron or email it to us and provide it to us so that we can provide it to the residents, because we hear you when you all ask us questions regarding the financials, and we love to provide you with the information. So look for the Jumbo-Tron next meeting. Hopefully they put the information on there for us.
Yeah, because we all know Super Duper Mayor, she loves showing you guys all the great stuff she does on her Jumbo-Tron. But you know, who knows? Maybe not. You know, she's got a podcast. You would think on the podcast she would put up a bunch of numbers. Like, oh, here's all the numbers. Here's all the facts. You want the tea? Here's the tea with Tiffany.
Just in reference to the financially distressed city law, it can be, is it based on like a certain time that we can utilize it, or once it's in effect, does it remain in effect?
The request that we, assuming board is okay, will be asking is that while this mayor is in the is at the helm, that the state assistant overseeing the financials of this community. That is the request. Now, as it gets to the state level, they may dive in deeper and make some different determinations, but our ask would be that during this administration and with this mayor that we continue, and then as if and when there is an administrative change, that it could be reevaluated.
And I'm really hoping there's something other than, I mean, we all know that Dalton needs help. Dalton needs help, regardless of what it is. Wherever the dust may settle, somebody other than Tiffany Henyard and those people, it has to come from somewhere else. It has to be somebody else other than inside this township or inside Dalton. And the trustees are begging for it. That's the crazy thing about all of this, is that the trustees want it, but the mayor doesn't. So leave a comment down below and you tell me what you think should happen. But let's keep going.
Thank you. I'm definitely in support of it, but I just want to reiterate to everyone, we are in bad shape. And as four of us sit up here to say that we're asking for help from the Illinois General Assembly to come in to make somebody give us documents that we are entitled to make financial decisions of a community is really sad. For us to have to beg to try to see if an audit has been done, which we know that if it has been done, it should have came across the board to see it. We can only say as of September of 2023 where we were. We're in March of 2024. We have no idea how much debt we're really in. But to see every day emails come to us saying you're 7 months past due, you're 5 months past through, you're 6 months past due, makes us realize that no one is sitting here doing what they're supposed to do in reference to maintaining the finances of the village of Dalton.
Yeah, that's wild. To know that when you're getting all these things saying, hey, we're past due on 3 months, 5, 6, 7, 8 a year, with all these things accumulating, and it's not that they don't want to pay them, it's that there's been so much spending that they don't understand where it's all coming from. And then when you don't get, it's like, all right, we do the work, but we're not going to tell you we did the work, and we're not going to give you any documents that show we stated the work. And, you know, if Miss Super Duper Mayor had all the tea and all the facts, you'd think she would be putting those facts out. You'd think that they would just give all those numbers and put them up online just like they said they would for transparency. But that's not the case, I guess. I don't know. You tell me. Miss Tiffany Henyard, leave a comment down below if you want to chime in. I'll put you on a podcast. Hell, I'll fly you out to Florida just to have you on a podcast. And trust me, they're not going to be softball questions.
And that is bad. You pay for what you want to pay for, but not things that you've incurred bills for that these people are. And I said this at the last board meeting when one of the department heads said something. We had a lady there asking us for $500 from 5 months ago. $500. That lets you know what type of financial situation we're in. And the person that's overseeing it, that should be giving us, I'm gonna even say the finance committee chairperson, Stan Brown. I'm gonna put him on blast right now.
Get him! Get him! Get him! Get him! Get him!
Because it makes no sense that we have to ask an outside entity to come in and try to clean up our house. So I am in total support of this, and whatever legal remedy we need to do to move it faster, because y'all is always saying we go to the courts, and we shouldn't have to go to the courts. But when you have someone that totally disregards the law, then this is what we're left to do. So I am in total support of anything that can help better the financial stability of the Village of Dalton.
And that's what you really need. Some financial stability and some financial understanding of what's going on. The fact that you do not know where your village is, and I'm not blaming the trustees. This is coming from, obviously it's coming from the mayor down, and if you don't do what the mayor says, then you're next on the chopping block. So, yes, everybody across the world is trying to understand what is going on. And because of the non-transparency that she is doing, this is what we're left with. We're left with little pieces and crumbles of what is really happening. And so the mayor should either just give that up and just say, hey, just take the L. But if it's not true, then prove it. Get on your podcast. Hey, Tiffany, get on your podcast and prove it.
I too am in agreement. Just listening to a conversation today where a vendor called Trustee Belcher, when they're seeking $14,000, $13,000, $17,000, this is little money. What about the big money that we haven't paid? There are some vendors out there that we owe hundreds of thousands of dollars to that we are not paying. We got people calling us for $14,000. We got people calling us for the flashing stop signs. So I guess they'll be taken out of the ground maybe next month if they don't get their $17,000. These are little bitty things that people are calling us with, but they did the work. They need to be compensated. These people provided services to the village and they're not getting paid. When we talk about months, 9 months ago, 7 months ago, 6 months ago, people are not being paid. So if you're not paying the bills, then what are you paying? And these bills were approved by the board months ago. I just look at it as this, and this is me saying this.
If you're not paying the bills, then maybe you're making payroll. If you can't make payroll, then you'll pay the bills. So it's something here, the reason why we're not paying bills, because we got to make payroll. Let's come to a point where it says, hey, the bag is empty, guys. The bag is empty. The 6.9 million been coming for 8 months, and it still hasn't gotten here yet.
Yeah, that was one of Super Mayor's friggin' biggest thing was like, oh, I've got $6.9 million coming to the... You've been saying that for friggin' months. And even when you were like, oh, we're giving away $1 million on your live stream, you were like, oh, I got $6.9 million coming, but I haven't got it yet.
The $1 million. I know you are all tuned in for this $1 million, so we're going to talk about that. So you have to stay tuned because you never know what Super Mayor is going to do. I always keep everybody on their toes, but I have a lot of giveaways that I'm about to do. I was not awarded yet because the money haven't came in yet for $9.2 million here at Thornton Township and $6.8 million for the village of Dalton. Once they release the funds will come down and we will create programs for our community.
And everybody's like, where's all this money at? Where's the receipts, Tiffany? Please, give us the receipts. The second you give the receipts, then things, I guess, then we can debunk all the other stuff. But right now, all you're saying is, no, I got it. I got it. All I do is work. All I do is work. Work at lying. That's what you're good at. Working at lying.
The bag is empty. When we can't pay $14,000, the bag is empty, guys. And she said before, and I would say, my granddad used to say, we're in a mighty bad way here. And when a person don't show you the money, it's a problem. It's a problem for all of us when we can't see where our tax dollars, where we can't see them and see how they're being spent. That's a problem. We got a big problem here. And definitely, everybody's on social media, the news.
Welcome to YouTube. Hey, welcome to YouTube.
Somebody has to step in. And as Brittany said, who's going to save us? Somebody has to save Dalton. You see the residents out here monthly. You see the trustees. We're here. We're begging for someone to come out here and save Dalton.
All I can say is hashtag save Dalton, because they need help. Reach out to whoever you got to reach out to, but yeah, Dalton needs help. So hashtag save Dalton.
Taxes going up. She just had a referendum what to raise your taxes. Who wants to keep putting money in the bag that you say you got, the bag is full? You're steady asking for our dollars, but you're not spending them the right way that it should be spent on this village. Again, somebody come here and hashtag save Dalton. Save Dalton. We're in a bad way. And it's a shame when you see every week somebody's saying, hey, I didn't get my $14,000. I didn't get my $17,000. I didn't get my $26,000. That's bad. That's bad. And then to go out and people see you everywhere and say, hey, aren't you from Dalton? And they laugh at me. I'm like, no, I'm from Posen.
That's truly sad that people they're not trying to associate themselves in Dalton. It's truly sad for them, and because this is going around all over. This isn't, everybody's covering Dalton right now. And it's sad that they have to duck and dodge people saying, no, I'm not from Dalton. It's truly sad. I'm sorry for you.
It's a joke, but it's a hurting thing. It's a shameful thing to see where this village is today and where it was when I moved here 18 years ago. So again, let's save Dalton. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay. And just one point to add a little bit more clarity on this ask before we go for board consensus. This is about more than getting the financial documentation to the board members. This is because my thought is, of course, put it on the website. I don't need to get it from the administration. The residents in the community deserve that information. But this would also go beyond getting the information and making it public. This would empower the state to actually issue the check. Once it's been voted by the board, issue the check, make sure that check goes out the door. At this time, there are millions of dollars worth of checks that are just sitting on the desk, and that's why these vendors are calling. We have many vendors that have been approved by the board, and those checks, we're told every month, oh, the checks will be cut this week. And then we get a call from a vendor, something else that'll indicate that they're 3 months behind, 4 months behind, and we look up and say, we've already approved that. So this, in addition to getting the information that is needed for the community to the community, it will also enforce that behind the scenes, those kind of games can't be played. So that way there could be confidence that when a bill is voted and approved, that check is going to become, and that will be coming, and it will be a monitoring of the bank account to make sure there's enough money in the bank. So this, we feel, is just a firmer stance to, if we're able to get it accomplished, to make sure that we're doing things financially sound.
Jason House for mayor. That's who Dalton needs to vote for.
So having said that, I'm going to ask for a consensus to give that direction to our legislative council, Trustee Norwood, Trustee Brown, and Trustee Belcher. Yes. Okay, and yes, I'm in agreement with that as well.